There were thankfully a number of polls that were released in the week leading up to the election. What's interesting is they all had the Liberals ahead, in some cases by quite a bit.
Was the Newfoundland and Labrador provincial election another polling miss? For much of the campaign, the only story about polls was that there weren't any. Political scientist Alex Marland was among those who pointed out how a lack of voter intention polling was obscuring the state of the race in Newfoundland and Labrador. But when polls finally were released, they seemed to predict a Liberal landslide. A poll from Narrative Research conducted over the summer and released on October 1st showed the Liberals with a commanding 59% of voter intentions compared to 31% for the Progressive Conservatives. A poll from Main Street Research conducted less than a week before Election Day showed a tighter race but still a huge Liberal lead, 37% to 24% PC. Now compare those numbers to the actual results. The Liberal share of the popular vote is pretty much in line with their polling numbers, but the PCs did much, much better than the polls predicted, almost doubling their number from the Main Street poll. So what happened? Well, Narrative Research prefaced its poll by pointing out that the public mood can change fast in an election, so a poll from earlier in the campaign may not predict the results on Election Day. As well, Newfoundland and Labrador is a small province, and getting a representative polling sample is challenging. But Alex Marland says there's another factor at play, one we've seen in elections across the world in recent years, that voter polls are failing to capture conservative support.
For whatever reason, public opinion research tends to overrepresent Liberals and potentially the NDP, and certainly underrepresents Conservatives. And we've seen that happen in lots of dynamics, even in the US elections, that people who are right-leaning in their political views are less likely to participate in public opinion surveys.
Marland says that having more polls and more frequent polls would give voters a clearer picture of public opinion in this province. Zach Gowdy, CBC News, St. John's.